Hello and welcome back to Operations with Void. I'm your host, Forgotten Void, and today we will do Operation Defensive Naval Station Newport, which I forgot to do. I forgot about it the past couple weeks. So we'll do Defensive Naval Station Newport. I actually didn't have a video recorded, and I had a game recently with the split, and so that's what we will be showcasing. For the split itself, I honestly don't like it for ops, and that is because you only have HE shells. I do like using AP. I often use AP in a destroyer, but for the split you only get HE shells. Split, the gimmick is it has smoke generator and then a 9-kilometer radar. Currently I have it built for radar duration. Well, semi. I have the module but not the skill. So the skills, we have the basic destroyer skills plus adrenaline rush plus torpedoes, fill the tubes. So we have running to use the torpedoes as much as possible, and that is because I use the torpedoes a lot and they are a good part of damage, even with them here, 10,000 damage or so. They still are a big chunk of damage. That's because you get HE, which is also abysmal for damage. You don't get a chance to citadel anything with HE. Okay, maybe the ranger in tough, but otherwise here you're not going to citadel anything with HE. As for defensive Newport, well, we'll talk more about that once we get into battle. So without further ado, let's go. So, as you see, I'm just going straight for the enemy ships. If I had armor piercing, I would have gone to the right of the island to get their broadside. So any other destroyer you would want to go to the right side of this island, or to the one of the sides of the island, so you can get to the sides of them, and you use armor piercing and citadel all of these cruisers. But for the split, you don't get that, so we're just going to sit in front of them. So we have more shooting time. And here I'm debating about using my smoke. I eventually open up and use the smoke. So I didn't want to use the smoke too much, because we only have 3 charges, and there are basically 4 waves, so 4 times that we would want to use it. Okay, so we get 1 down. We're going to go ahead and move to the other side, because we have torpedoes against one of them. And the Kuma, we would absolutely be able to citadel it easily with a destroyer with armor piercing, even from this range, especially with 140s. We can. And instead, it's being torpedoed. He misses the torpedoes, and instead, he hits torpedoes on the Furutaka. So we're already down to mines. And this is why you go outside the islands, not inside the islands. You have maneuvering room. It's harder to get straight up torpedoed. And the Oygen, he's a bit slow out going outside the island. The way it actually could just load AP and citadel most of those cruisers through the nose. But the mines should have gone around the outside of the island. Absolutely.
This is Space Commander. Support ship breach battery 1. Restoring the battery.
So now we're just getting into position to attack the attack the second wave. And there we are. We're using our radar gimmick to try and line up for the Fubuki, so we can do that. Using memory, where there's no white line, we're throwing torps out. And the downside of these torps are, well, they're full of downsides. They have one upside: they're fast. You see 3 torpedo hits to hit and to kill the Fubuki. They do not hit very hard. They have a very short range for a destroyer at only 8.5 kilometers. But they reload quickly. So they reload within a minute. You only get 6 of them, but they reload within a minute, so that's nice. And with Swartsky, they will reload faster if we hit more.
Engine boost activated.
So here we're opening fire while people can see us, just so we're taking fire off from our allies. The ships will start looking at us to shoot. So this is very much calculated. We only get 3 torpedo hits on the Bayern. But here we are, we're going to stop the Moss, because don't trust anyone else to stop it. But we're also going to stop at the edge of the island. As torpedoes are coming in. Okay. Moss got it. And we have room for our torpedoes. And so if we had armor piercing, we could load armor piercing and Citadel the Alba. But we don't. That's going to be a theme here. Not having armor piercing. It's the worst aspect of this ship. We could absolutely delete the Alba very quickly if we had armor piercing. 6 torpedo hits. And we got the Congo down. And you see Swartsky's skill just activated. Okay. We got that down. So far, it's looking like a decent run. So far, except for the mines. That got himself killed. And then you have another cruiser on the far side that's going to get himself killed. And Huygens is going to get himself killed. Yep, there you go. The Chumfon's down. So we're using radar to find the Shiratsuyu. Hopefully take the Shiratsuyu out before it does too much damage, but it's already too close. So we're also aiming at the York. If we had armor piercing, we could absolutely citadel the Myoko as well.
This is Base Commander. All batteries restored successfully. Support ship reach base.
We take out a torp tube. The Shiratsu was able to thread our torpedoes. Oh well. We were able to hit a couple of torpedoes on the York. And then there goes the Oregon goes down. If the Oregon had armor piercing loaded, it could have also deleted these cruisers.
Critical engine damage. Problem solved, sir.
And you see torpedoes coming in from the York, where the York was. And now the Alba is going around the island. There we go. We have our ray.
We destroyed an enemy cruiser.
We probably should have used speed boost here. But as you see, we've lost 3 of our cruisers. So we've lost pretty much all of our DPM. So all that's left is our battleships. And they're not going to be able to take out these destroyers. So you're going to watch what happens when destroyers get in, and I'm pretty sure many people have seen this. So you can see how, even with doing well, we're at 139k damage at this point in time. Even with doing well and trying to carry, sometimes it doesn't work out, and so you see the destroyers entering the bay, the Albas entering the bay.
Reconnaissance reporting. Principal attack is underway. Attention. A large enemy aircraft carrier entered the combat zone. Destroy her.
And instead of a Musashi, we get a Yamato at the back. And then we lose another battleship. So now it's 3 ships. At this point, we are going to do everything that we can to try and win. And you have to be up front. You have to be at the enemy. Take the fight to them, so that you can shoot earlier.
Engine boost activated.
So we're going to try and start with the destroyers, because battleships can delete cruisers. And this one's hard because both the destroyers turn, and so they're hard to guess where they will turn and when they will turn, because they have a couple different paths they can take. The one benefit is we do have stealth radar, so we can see where they are. And I actually should have done the white line here, but I use... Well, I did do the white line, and they don't hit.
Smoke generator started.
Spoiler, they don't hit. So I'm using the smoke. Probably not the best situation, because they do and will use hydro. Okay, we got 1 torpedo hit, reducing the torpedo roll even a bit further, but we're already hydroed. So the Z-23 can shoot at us while we couldn't shoot at it. It was within its 5-kilometer hydro range, and our radar was down. And see, we're just picking targets, see where we can launch our torpedoes, because there's a lot of targets to launch torpedoes at. And we go with the Ibuki because it has the best angle for launching torpedoes. And so, as you see, when we get the boogie, when you're going out, you need to be smart about going out. You don't run up to the enemy. You find ways so that they can't shoot at you, or you reduce the time that they can shoot at you. And here we are trying to get torpedoes out to finish off the enemies. And now with torpedoes reloading in within 40 seconds, they are actually decent. Because even though they don't hit very hard, by having them go so fast, you can take out things like that. And now they reload even faster. So we're just glad right now that Kitakaze is busy shooting at the fort. And we have a couple destroyers coming in that are going to be killed by the Gnais now, I think. Okay, we have our torpedoes reloaded. We should be launching them.
The ship is on fire.
So we launch them at the rune. Fortunately, we're going to miss the rune.
Problem solved, sir.
Okay, we got the Kitakaze down.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
And there come the torps. Yeah, because the rune slows down a lot.
Smoke generator started.
And so and there we only get 2 torpedo hits.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
And so we have, right now we have 5 targets that we need to kill. So we took out a torpedo launcher. We're hoping that the Nagato and them can take out the Mogami. Hopefully, right? You know, shouldn't be that hard. Okay, there's the Mogami. And now all that's left over there is the Rune and the Gnaisenau. Gnaisenau just torpedoed the Benson. Fun. I should have read this as the Nagato is slowing down. So here we are trying to set some fires. Yes, the Nagato is a lot of HP to chew through. But unfortunately it's just me and so we missed those torpedoes. All but one. It's a fire and a flood. And they are both ticking. And now there's also the Yamatos right there. Unfortunately, we're about to get spotted, so we wait for our torpedoes reload to try and get this as well. We're just going to do what we can. But this is where we die, because we are right up next to a tier 10 with a lot of secondaries. And it has 105 secondaries, so yeah, we die from the secondaries. While our flood and fire, I believe, are still ticking on the Nagato. So this is where, even doing as much as we can in all the support ships, we're taken out. And then the last thing. So even with doing as much as we can,
All port structures destroyed.
we might have been able to finish things off if we had armor piercing and kill things faster. That might have done anything. But honestly, it's our team. So yeah, we get 33 torpedo hits and 300 gun hits, 9 kills in a okay ship. This is not, yeah. Even I cannot carry all the games that I am in. we were top of the team. We had like double the experience of the next person. The issue is, yeah, see, we're top of the team with 500 versus the next one 300, and the chump. I'm not sure how the Chumpfon got less than the mines. The mines were reporting it plays poorly because he just made a bad decision. Anyways, this is to show that you can't win them all. No one can win them all. This is very much a team-based game, and even doing well, if your team does poorly, then you might not win. But if you and maybe one other person do well, then yeah, you can carry this. So you generally need 2 competent people to carry Newport. And back when it was tier 6, I would div with one other person, and we would go through together and just carry everybody through Newport during Newport week. That's what you need. You need 2 competent people, not just one. So, if you have any questions or any comments, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this change of pace where we have a defeat instead of a loss. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down or tell me. But with that, I hope to see you again next week. And I'm sorry for the video appearing a little bit late.